All right, we're into it. Did you get that,
Who are you?
Oh, I don't think it matters who I am so much. I'm Lance Ash, and who are you?
Mrs. Lance Ash.
And this is a program we do once a week, and it's called...
Nothing but worry.
And did you get those pictures of Jean-Paul Belmondo I sent you today?
I did. They look like your dad. They don't look like you.
They don't like me.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you share the surliness that comes across, but nothing more.
Because he was really sort of what's the word? Carved potato face man, but...
No.
But he was cool, though, for not being...
He was cool as a Frenchman, but Peter is right when he says he looked more like an old Greek fisherman than anything else.
With that hat on, for sure, yeah.
And those defined lines in his face.
Yeah.
Huh.
I share with my dad the thick lips, which have always irritated me, but, oh well. Anyway.
What bothers me more that your lobes are attached.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really bother me so much, but they have them surgically altered, I suppose.
I was fortunate the children got my unattached lobes.
Huh, okay. Well, I have still not completely woken up. I can't believe I went back to sleep a little bit, but anyway. So I guess the big thing to address that irritated us this week is Jimmy Kimmel being put on indefinite hiatus because he hurt the feelings of the President of the United States, God Emperor Trump. I don't know what kind of place in our country's history we've reached where the President of the United States is so thin-skinned and such an immature human being that any hint of lèse-majesté will cause him to use the power of the federal government to have an entertainer banned from television because he dared say something halfway,
What got me was the right last week was going on and on about how Kirk was a free speech advocate. He was killed for his free speech and what he said and such. And then they go and, killed free speech the following week in the form of canceling an entertainer. What the fuck? But then again, hypocrisy is their strong suit. And they live by double standards. And rules for thee, but not for me. Kind of BS.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even bothered with Bill Maher this week.
I never bother with Bill Maher. Why would you give him the time of day?
Sometimes it pops up on my YouTube feed, but I think I permanently, blocked his channel. But of course, he said for years to people on the left, you should stop policing people's language. The people on the right, the nuts on the right, they have a right to spew their bile. But the difference, Bill, is this. When the left was trying to squelch the hateful rhetoric from the right, they were doing it from a grassroots level. We're not going to watch these shows, or we're going to boycott these products so that the people who advertise those products on these different shows that spew this shit, they will... The difference here is this is the government stepping in and suppressing speech. There's a big difference, Bill. A big difference. Maybe one day you'll find that out.
Another thing is the differences between what is spewed on the right and what is spewed on the left. The left got pissed because the right kept saying things like, if you are trans or gay, you don't have a right to exist.
Mm-hmm.
We want to rescind your right to be married. We want you to rescind your right to live as whoever you are and love whoever you choose to love. The right also kept saying, well, if you get raped and you get pregnant, well, we're going to make you carry the rapist's baby. No, it doesn't matter that you're a 9-year-old. Yeah, that happened, by the way. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It was your uncle or your daddy or something. No, we're going to tell you how to live. And we're going to do this based on the fact that our religion is the way that America is supposed to be.
I remember Laura Ingraham saying, was that her? Was that woman's name?
I don't know.
Or was that the other one?
About.
The nutcase woman from Fox with the long blonde hair.
There have been many. Anyway.
She was the one who said we ought to invade foreign countries and force them to convert to Christianity.
Jesus,
we ought to
Christ.
ban liberalism as a mind disease or something. Nobody on the left was saying we're going to kidnap your babies and force them to grow up as atheists.
You can no longer. We didn't say you can't practice your religion. What we said is you can't force your religious ideas upon others, and we don't want you to enact them into law.
Anyway, we are big fans of Jimmy Kimmel, and one of the reasons we're big fans is because among all the top late night talk show hosts, he was the one that really stuck it to Trump the most. I'm shocked that Fallon went as far as he did in criticizing Trump and supporting Kimmel this week, because normally he's very tame.
A little kiss ass.
Well, he's not a kiss ass, but he doesn't want to be too biting. Doesn't want to make waves too much. Oh. And even that little bit is too much for Trump. He's already announced that he's going after Seth Meyers and Fallon next.
Yeah.
So the clear indications are we're establishing the American Reich, and no dissent and no mockery will be tolerated.
Furthermore, you're going to pay us for the privilege to do business, and you're going to pay us for the privilege of staying on air or saying what we say you say. You have these guidelines.
Stephen Miller and that I think it was Carolyn Levitt was saying, if you fail to praise Charlie Kirk, then you'll also be punished. We're going to take down the names of people who refuse to fly the flag at half-staff and salute Charlie's picture every morning, and we're going to call their employer and have them fired.
It's ridiculous. It truly is.
So anyway, I was really upset about it for a while.
There's talk about them trying to get the Pope to declare Charlie Kirk a martyr.
That'll never happen.
Yeah, and a saint.
But
all this other kind of bullshit.
Well, I don't know if it was the state that he was born in. They're declaring statewide Charlie Kirk Day. Do we get a paid day off of work? Well, no, we won't go that far.
This is the guy who said that he didn't think that MLK was a decent person, that he didn't think the Civil Rights Act should have been passed, that he didn't celebrate Juneteenth, and he didn't see the point of it being a paid holiday.
He also said that black women don't have the mental capacity to do something, be in a leadership position or something.
And called out specific ones like Michelle Obama and
Kamala Harris.
And Justice, what's her name?
Ketanji Brown?
Yeah.
And I forget who it was, but I was watching somebody, maybe it was Tom Powell, and he showed a clip of somebody saying, Charlie Kirk never said those words. You liberals are a bunch of liars. And he played the exact recording of him saying those exact words.
Yeah. I was shocked that one of the things I saw was Charlie Kirk saying, no, students should go hungry. There should be no free lunches for students. The government shouldn't pay for it. The parents should. And one of the students in the audience said, but what if their parents can't afford it? Well, they should get a job. But their jobs don't pay enough. That's the reason they qualify for low or free lunches.
I remember when Sean Hannity was a radio show host here in Atlanta saying, well, they shouldn't have any babies until they're financially ready to have babies. But yet you want to force them to have babies if they're having sex. This whole
Oh, and if
Christian
you're
American
right.
morality
Yeah,
tied
it's-
up with, well, sex is inherently evil. It is
Yeah.
what's the word? Original sin. That is the original sin.
It
And
is.
so, therefore, if you have sex, you must be made to pay the consequences, which is being burdened with children. And yet they don't want to help out because I need a tax break so I can have a bigger mansion and another car and a bigger watch and fancier shoes.
And more tax breaks for corporations and more public funding for sports arenas.
Now there's talk that they're going to use AI to go through the entirety of the internet and find out who's been saying bad things about Charlie Kirk and bad things about Trump, and we will find you and we will punish you. That's what all this AI horseshit is about. And I've been predicting this for 30 years. That one day it's going to be global. I mean, we already have a 24-hour global surveillance state already, but it's going to be more than that. It's going to be the thought police.
There is an excellent editorial/article this week in the New York Times by a civil rights attorney who discusses how when you enter New York City, you are surveilled at every level possible. They do x-rays of vehicles on the streets. They have the light cameras and the lights. They have light cameras that they have in a network of stores and such. They link in with people's social media, even their Gmail and other email accounts. When you go into Newark, they ping your phone. If they collect your phone, such as at a protest or you're just detained, then they download the information on your phone into their network and they keep it. That means your contacts, your photos, everything that you've posted in your social media, everything. They have access to it. And they have surveillance at all the
What was it?
transportation centers, all public spaces.
You went to Sam's Club and you wanted to buy a pizza, and they go, well, we don't take your orders at that thing. You have to order through the phone.
Through the app. And I said, well, that's not going to happen because I don't download apps. I remove as many apps as possible.
See, they want you
on
to be...
my phone because I don't want them getting my information.
The Christians have been worried about the mark of the beast for 100 years.
But yet they're walking around with smartphones.
And yet they want everybody to have a phone with them 24 hours a day. You're glued to your phone. The minute you're born, they shove a fucking phone in your little hand, and it becomes your friend and companion forever. And eventually they'll just stick it in your head. And then the government knows, well, he watches these programs, or he is inclined to like this kind of stuff. He must be corrected, digitally corrected.
Well, Peter also pointed out that this guy was working alone at the food services court. That was him. He was it. He was filling all the orders, drinks, making pizzas, making sandwiches, doing everything all by himself. And then he would push a button and go, your order is ready for pickup. And they didn't have any cash. It was completely cashless. Yeah, mark of the beast stuff for all you ex-Christians like us. And it's to save money, sure. But it's also to keep an eye on you. Every time we've gone in there, they come over and they say, would you like to sign up for such and such credit card? Because they know that when I scan my member card, I don't have a Sam's Club card, one of their credit cards. And we're not going to get one because I want our credit score to stay around 800. Because every time you ping and get a new credit card, that acts adversely against your credit. And there's no point. I already get cash back on my stuff anyway, and I'm not going to buy into their thing. So I have to listen to the spiel. Would you like to get a Sam's Club card? No, stop asking. Peter sat there and listened to the guy, and I kept going, no. And Peter said, he really took that far. He kept on with the little prompted speech they're taught. Don't you want, you can get this. I was at the point of ignoring him. Next time I'm just going to go, no means no. Men need to learn this word. No.
Well, I can't allow myself to get too worried about it. I just hope I'm safely dead by the time all this goes completely down the toilet. Of course, they're going to try to resurrect me in the cloud, you know.
Oh no, we're going to wipe every trace of you off, aren't we?
Well, I mean, I think that I should be cremated immediately upon declaration of death. We pronounce him dead. Okay, stick him in the furnace, because I don't want them clawing through my brain and going, well, this is what made him tick, and this is what made him who he was, and we'll put all this on the computer, and then we can make him suffer for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I had once thought that I would donate my body to science, and now I'm like, fuck that shit. Fuck it. I just, cremation for me too. All the way. So, your sister's coming back to town this week.
Yeah, and I have to go to the memorial service and see
On
people
Saturday.
who I don't want to see, people that I used to go to church with 100 years ago, family members that I haven't seen in forever, and I don't want to see any of these people. I don't want to interact with them. I don't want to make chit chat. I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to spend 20 minutes, and then I'm out there. I'm going to slip out as unobtrusively as possible.
I'm already practicing my arched brow and look of confusion when somebody goes, "You'll stay here and hidden." I'll just go, huh?
At my grandfather's funeral, the preacher's wife goes, "He's in a better place." And I'm
Sweetie, he's
standing
dead.
there. It was in the middle of summer when they had the funeral, and I was one of the pallbearers, and I'm wearing this suit, and I'm sweating crazy, and I've got to stand there stiff until it's over. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Oh my God.
I figure I'll probably slip up and say something to offend somebody like, "She's in heaven."
Just
Sweetie, she's dead.
don't say anything.
Another thing is, she passed. She died.
Well, you know,
I hate that word passed.
everyone, we have good news. Good news. We just received this letter from the Trump administration, offering its condolences for our loss.
You remember we got a letter of congratulations on the birth of Reed from Bill Clinton and
Yeah.
Hillary?
Yeah. Hillary, she worships the devil.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm not very alert yet. I need some more caffeine. I got shit to do tonight.
You want to pause and get some caffeine, sweetie?
No, my stomach is still full from all that Chinese food and
Oh,
that
yeah, you
tea.
got us good Chinese food tonight. Thank you.
I thought you deserved a treat.
Yeah, I've had a shitty couple of day and a half. My dad came over and brought 6 or 7 boxes of my granddad's stamp collection. This is not all of it. This was what was left of it. My granddad died 20 years ago now. And so...
We were living at the old house.
Yeah, it was over 20 years now. And one of my cousins took over the house because he had a growing family and stuff. And somehow or another, some things got overlooked. Somehow, some way. And I got 7 boxes of smelly stamps.
Moldy.
Yeah.
And worthless, basically.
Yeah. Stamps are like a lot of collectible things. Things go up and down in value. Honestly, it's only worth as much as somebody will give you for it. And everything was 1940 and past. And so, while I ended up with some nifty things, from around the world and, like, occupied France and...
Do you remember?
things like that. And he went out of his way to do certain collections. There was a lot of stuff that was just junk that had not been sorted. There was one whole box of corners cut off of envelopes with stamps that people would send him or keep for him, and he would get these piles of stamps from people that they had just cut the corner off the envelope. I had an entire box that was like 9 by 6 by 4 inches deep, filled with those kind of things. And his policy was, I buy stuff, but yet people kept giving him this crap. And
Do you remember in oh God, what's the name of that movie? It's a Woody Allen movie, not Bullets Over Broadway, but Manhattan Murder Mystery. Woody Allen is married to Diane Keaton in the movie, and their neighbors in the apartment building invite them over. It's an older couple. And the man's like, let me show you my stamp collection. And Woody Allen is just totally bored. He does not want to look at these stamps. And the guy goes, look at this one. Look at it closely. There's a flaw in the engraving. See if you can spot it. Oh, God. People are like that. With their little personal collections of shit.
okay.
What? I don't collect anything specific like that. I collect oddities. Interesting
Your
looking.
bottles of junk.
Yeah.
Tell them about your bottles of junk.
I have glass jars that I fill up with little trinkets and oddities that I find, like buttons or I don't know what else is in there. Little doodads. Anything. You know, part of a zipper. I got jars and jars of this crap.
And you collected art. Art that you find.
Oh, yeah. Look, little interesting things. Found art. Little stained piece of paper that looks like something. Take it home and frame it. We need to pare down stuff.
Yeah, we do.
I'm surprised you're saving all those stamps.
I'm not. That's what I was saying. A lot of that stuff, I kept only what was organized, and then what were in the envelopes that were. There are these little like wax envelopes.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with the ones that you put in those mailing envelopes? What are you going to do with those?
They're just part of Peter's overall collection now.
Just kept in there?
For now, yeah.
Why does he want them?
Because he's a hoarder.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yes, you do. Have you seen his 2 rooms?
His room is full of
Junk.
items that serve only the purpose to collect dust.
Yeah, and the dust is growing every day.
And he has asthma.
He has an actual dust allergy. I know.
He needs to get, I guess, I don't really know, a Swiffer? Is that what that's for? You jam it up in all that shit and collect the dust out?
No, he needs to get glass-covered cabinets, glass-fronted cabinets. But even with those glass-fronted cabinets I have to go up there occasionally and open them and dust off things. But
yeah, the entire planet is filled with dust. How strange. It's all like particles that you ground off of. Yeah.
ugh.
You could be breathing in.
Dead people.
Yeah. You could be breathing in stuff that was generated in Siberia and blew across through the stratosphere and dropped down over here.
Cloud that comes over from the Gobi Desert every year. The winds bring over dust from the Gobi.
That's interesting. Well, Herschel Walker warned us about that. They got the bad air, and they send us the bad air. We're going to send them whatever just absolute gibberish.
Incoherent nonsense. And his thing about attacking evolution. There can't be no evolution because they steal monkeys. How you supposed to be man from monkey if you still got the monkeys? And people just looked at him like,
well, several years ago,
speak, sir.
Several years ago, back when I was still occasionally looking at the local paper. He announced that he had gone through memory regression therapy or something and found out that he'd been sexually abused as a child and blah blah blah. And this wasn't a reader. This was one of the guys who worked at the paper. In reporting on this, said something like, "But yet we all know that Herschel is intellectually limited," and basically going, "This is total horseshit."
When he ran for Senate, I kept saying over and over, every time he spoke out loud, it diminishes the reputation of the University of Georgia, which granted him a degree. At some point or another...
Did they give him a degree?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they did. They definitely gave him they gave him a scholarship. Part of the scandal with Jan Kemp was that they were passing people who shouldn't be passing.
Yeah.
Idiots
well,
like him.
When he was still just a student at UGA and, a big deal, Heisman Trophy winner and all that, his thing where he would announce, I'm going to be an FBI agent. That's what, you have to be very intelligent and have a degree to be an FBI agent. I used to think you had to have a law degree, but apparently that's not true.
No, that's not true. You just have to be have experience in your field, preferably, and have a college degree.
How does that explain Kash Patel?
Kash Patel is not he didn't go through the process of becoming an agent.
I mean, just, oh God. So what was I was reading? Somebody was talking about how Trump always picks people because they look good on TV and they look the part. Kash Patel looks like a villain in a Fellini film.
I was thinking he looked like an idiot in a comedy film by Fellini. Oh my God.
Oh God.
He should be wearing a little clown suit and kind of dancing around in the background to weird music.
That rings to mind, going back to Jean-Paul Belmondo, I wish I had time to watch all those old classic films. I've seen one Fellini film in my life.
Who was in the Cercle Rouge? Was that Alain Delon?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to watch that again.
Oh, I'd love to see that again. That was also Yves Montand.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. I'd like to see Wages of Fear again. He's in that. That's great.
Wages of Fear. Was that an Orson Welles movie?
No, it's God, I don't know who.
Was that what?
It's Yves Montand and this other guy.
Wait,
They've gone down
Wages of Fear. What was that?
Wages of Fear is Yves Montand and this other guy are stuck in South America. They went there because they thought they were going to get rich, and they burned through the money, and they want to go home, and there's no way to get home because they've got no money. So they take a job, very dangerous job. They have to drive this rickety old truck full of dynamite over this horrible road to where they need this dynamite to put out a fire or something. And they go through all this terrible shit on the way. And there's a great scene. They're both from Paris. I guess they've known each other for forever. And on the trip, one of them says, the other guy says to Yves Montand, remember that street? And there was a fence. There was a tall fence. What was behind that fence? What was behind that wall? And Yves Montand's like, there was nothing. There had to be something behind that wall. No, I'm telling you, there was nothing behind the wall. There was nothing behind the wall. And it's very clear what he's saying is, there's nothing past death. There's nothing. And it was just it's a brilliant, it was a nerve-wracking movie. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see a lot of those little movies. I just don't have time to do shit anymore.
I was so scared that when your mom died, the union was going to send you a Bible.
I've seen that done, but not for a long time. Take up collections so he can give you something totally useless and
yeah.
Here, let this be a bastion of comfort in your time of grief. Oh yes, I'll wipe my ass with this. It'll be nice and soft.
So the funeral's paid for. Did you get what your sister said about your mom's life insurance?
No.
She apparently had bought accidental death and dismemberment or something, and it wasn't the right kind of life insurance. It's like, oh my God.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. What else is on the agenda to talk about? Well, in my musical minute, I've been listening to the church lately, and I've been working my way through the records from Heyday up till when they started to break up and go back together again. And that string of records, Heyday, Starfish, Gold Afternoon Fix, and whatever came after that or before it, just brilliant. Very few bands have a run of albums in a row that are just that brilliant. Maybe I talked about them last week. Can't remember. Yeah, maybe I did. Anyway, fuck it. I can't think of anything. I'm not quite awake. Held Machine's new record, Eyesight, is really, really good. It's better than the last Rammstein album, which was so disappointing.
I don't think Rammstein's coming back ever, are they?
I don't know that at all. I think they toured just recently.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, there was that controversy about Till Lindemann. So
Now that blew over. That girl.
Recanted?
She recanted. She claimed the police coerced her into saying all that.
Huh. For some reason or other, I thought that last album was their last album.
Everybody was saying that because the last song on the record is like Goodbye or Adieu or something. But they had another record that also had the last song saying farewell or goodbye or whatever.
Farewell. Da, 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 da. You remember that from Sound of Music?
I've never seen the movie.
What?
I've seen two seconds of it.
What? That's it? I was strapping you to a chair, taping your eyes, and making you watch.
I'm not watching that movie.
Oh my God.
I like a lot of those old musicals. I like Gigi, and I like American in Paris, and
what we did not like was Oklahoma.
No, you didn't like it. I wanted to finish it.
No, it was terrible. Hi, y'all gotta do this, blah, blah, blah. It just hill.
All that singing and dancing, people were really you had to be talented in Hollywood in the old days. Now you just have to have a rugged face.
Their accents were atrocious.
We also have
that girl singing about what a little tramp she was. She could never say no. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm out at this point.
We also have Carousel, which I know nothing about. I want to see that too.
I think we did get to hear Surrey with a fringe on top. We went through that song at the very least.
That guy, he's also the one who sings "Oh, It'll Be a Beautiful Morning" at the beginning. What a voice he had! I wish I could do my radio voice all the time. But
radio voice?
Yeah.
Don Pardo?
Don Pardo had a good voice. But the one I always modeled myself on, there was a broadcaster out of South Carolina in the 70s, basically. Monty Dupuis. Hi, I'm Monty Dupuis.
This week we watched a Chevy Chase SNL news clip, and he goes through his spiel, and then he breaks to Lorraine Newman. He is standing in the hall of an apartment building where someone has been taken hostage, and the hostages want their demands read out by Don Pardo. And it was so funny because they went into the whole commercial thing. They've asked for a jet, and the jet is sponsored by such and such corporation.
Yeah.
It's comfortably
Promotional consideration has been provided by.
Yeah.
All of our guests receive a set of Samsonite luggage. Oh, God. And, when you look at that, I don't know what year that was. That probably was 76. The set for the Weekend Update bit was so cheap compared to what it is today.
Yeah.
I'm currently reading Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail 72. And I'm about a third of the way done. I'm probably going to give up on it because I mean, at that point in his career, he was a really good writer. But it is sort of just like, and then this primary happened, and he got this many percent, and this person got this many percent. That's pretty much it. Because I've read some of his stuff in the past, and outside of just glorification of psychedelic debauchery, you're like, well, what is the substance of this? But reading that back when he wasn't completely brain fogged, he was a really good journalist, right?
Who was the journalist that you had a number of books by from the 90s? A bit of a humor angle, I thought, maybe. What's that?
Journalist? You don't mean Andy Rooney. You don't mean
No,
Art
ma'am.
Buchwald.
No. I can't remember now.
From the 90s.
Maybe the 80s also?
Well, what do you remember about it?
He wrote a number of books with humorous titles. Like Traveling the Third World in a...
Oh, P.J. O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a jerk off. He started off as one of the top guys at National Lampoon, humor writer, and part of the would-be revolution of the leftover hippie crowd and everything. But then when he started making money in the 80s, and then when he rediscovered his Irish Catholic roots,
Oh, God.
then he becomes a conservative because he wants to hold on to his money, and wound up just this total right-wing hack. Just
Did we get rid of all of his books?
we may have. I got rid of all my William F. Buckley books when I just
couldn't believe
watched.
we had nearly everything William F. Buckley had ever written.
We just about did, yeah. Makes me wonder what he would. I wonder how far up the partisan elementary tract he was. That I wonder if he was alive today, would he condemn Trump, or would he be like?
He did condemn Trump in his day. He called him out. Something about a fraud and a showman or something.
Yeah, but Trump is.
He was from the New England area, and everybody out of New York had to put up with Trump and all of his grandstanding and his braggart statements and trying to put himself out there on the social
Yeah,
scene.
but now he's the voice of the Republican Party, the face for the Republican Party, and there's no way I think that Buckley would turn his back on the GOP. I just don't see it.
I think he would have been a never-Trumper, because Trump is just so...
Every never Trumper we know has bent the knee eventually. I want to see the new Tom Powell. He says, I never thought I'd agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I didn't get to read the rest of it. I need to see that one.
I have no idea what that's about. All I know is they need to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, and we need to stop talking about other stuff and go back to that.
All of this is a distraction.
The Guardian also had an excellent article this week on how the Trump administration has halted effective programs that stopped and prosecuted sex trafficking, human trafficking. And it happened through a number of ways. It happened through Doge going through and doing their bullshit cuts, just willy-nilly. It happened through programs that had their position changed, so that instead of doing the work that was needed to address getting witness statements, following up leads, doing crackdowns, assaults, surveillance, etc., those were all turned to the whole, let's deport the immigrants. They also did away with a program that allowed people who were victims of sex trafficking to give testimony and stay and have refuge here. Did away with that program. So thousands of people were out the door. And so the Trump administration is like, oh no, we're doing what we need to do. They're flat out lies. And the Guardian went and they found people who had been dismissed from the programs, people who spoke off the record, who were still in government service, who said, my jobs dealt with these following areas, and now we don't do that anymore. It's all about lock up the immigrants.
Yeah.
So they're real. They don't give a damn about the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking. They don't give a damn about.
Well, they know that they can continue to distract the American public from this scandal forever.
It's more than that, though. They can also continue to bump up the money that's going into these programs that end up putting ICE agents on the streets and National Guardsmen in cities around the nation. They're using all of this so they can have a stranglehold on people and curtail civil rights.
Well, don't worry, Bonnie. The Democratic Party has written a series of very strongly worded letters.
I'm so sick and tired of Chuck Schumer. I wish he'd have a heart attack and just leave this mortal plane.
Oh, God. I'm going to have some more tea in a minute. I got to get this painting done. Got to get some drawing done. But I tell you, over the course of the last 2 days or so, I have got a good mental state I've gotten into. I feel much more optimistic about all the things. This Kimmel thing has really pissed me off, and
We did have a big, explosive moment today, you and I, where we were both just angry as hell because they're trying to extort money out of Kimmel. And to get him, one group saying he needs to donate money to the Charlie Kirk Turning Point USA.
And it has to be substantial now.
Yes, it has to be a substantial amount. It just boils down to extortion, extortion, extortion.
I think that they really think, well, he's an entertainer. Of course he'll play along. He's not going to play along. And if he does, I'm done with him. Yeah, he won't though, because he knows that if we give in here, then they're just going to take another bit. The day is coming very soon when the Trump regime is going to demand script approval for all television and movies produced in the country. They're going to demand that certain characters cannot be black or cannot be brown, and
for God's sake, no trans people.
And women cannot be represented in leadership roles. We need to have more shows like Father Knows Best. Why can't we bring back good shows like
Charlie's
that?
Aunt is right out. Yeah. Oh my God.
Good, clean show.
Oh God.
Oh me.
That reminds me of your dad's nonsense.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
No dirty language.
Oh goodness, I gotta get my act together here.
Well then, let's just call it quits. We're both tired as hell.
Well, let's think really quick. Is there anything else? We never finished. We're halfway done with the new Internet Today, and we need to finish that. It's basically all about the Kimmel thing.
Soon you'll have room for more egg rolls.
That'll be
so good.
That'll be a while before I eat anything else. I'm glad we limited what we ordered to just that, just the lo mein, vegetable lo mein, and the egg rolls, because all that other, that's all I can stomach of Chinese food now. All that syrupy goop, the other stuff, I can't stand. I've lost my taste for the mushu, this and that.
Honestly, if I'd have been feeling better, I would have said, let's go get Thai food, me and you, but I'm just shocked. The last day and a half doing this damn stamp crap. Because, I was doing it page by page. And it's just so much stuff.
You should have just taken it and donated it, all of it, without even going through it. I wouldn't have even messed with it. I'm like, I don't want this, and I don't want the trouble. Just.
Well, it was my granddad's, so still a bit of sentimentality attached there.
If you had taken it down to the local library, they would have put it part of the stuff for sale, and I'm sure some geezers around here would have bought all of it. Geezers. Oh, Lord.
At what age do we become geezers? Or are we already geezers?
I'm not a geezer.
You are an old fart.
No.
Crotchety old fart at
No.
that. Some days.
I still feel very
Beautiful.
peppy. I have aches and pains that won't go away. This thing in my neck has been going on for like 3 weeks, but
It's a tumor. Jesus Christ, we shouldn't laugh with all your history of tumors.
it's not a tumor. Oh, I'll tell you another funny thing he said.
Who?
In Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, Sharon Stone confronts him and says, "Hey, baby, we're married." And he shoots her. He says, "Consider that a divorce." But the way he says is, "Consider the divorce." Oh my God!
What was the Bart Simpson parody of him? What did he keep saying? It was something about atomic. What was it? You remember that?
Well, he plays Radioactive Man,
Yeah.
and
He
the catchphrase is "Up and at them"
Yeah.
or "Up and at 'em."
Up and at him. He goes, up and at them.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Have you
poor
ever
old
seen
Schwarzenegger.
The compilation of the McBain.
Yeah, where it makes one story.
It
Yeah.
makes one big story. It's great. Jesus.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll give you a little bit of a little something before we leave. I have to have an MRI basically once a year, and it's a pain in the ass. And Thursday afternoon, I had to go to the hospital for the MRI, and I was in the goddamn machine for an hour, and I'm just like, oh God. I just kept counting my breaths and drifting in and out of sleep. And it's such a boring pain. Oh, I'll tell you something really interesting. The waiting room for the MRI has a television in it. And Bonnie and I can't stand to be forced to watch television in waiting rooms. So the last time we were there, we drug our chairs out in the hallway. And anyway, so
The time before, I unplugged the TV from behind.
and anyway, I noticed this time that they had a row of chairs out in the hallway outside the waiting room, as if to acknowledge that people don't want to be in there. So I've never seen so many people waiting for an MRI before.
Well, it isn't just the MRIs. That's the radiology department. So they're there for CT scans, X-ray imaging, etc. So.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's about it. Is that it?
God, I hope so.
Let's see how many minutes we've been going. I bet it's only about 35. No, 48 looks like. Okay. All right, so I guess that's about it. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.